Hey friends, it's that time of the month, the time where I talk about products and things that have come out recently that I don't need and I'm not going to buy, and tell you why I don't need those things and why I'm not going to buy them, in hopes that it helps you not need them and not buy them. We got an anti-haul for you today, friends, and if you're new to my channel, anti-hauls are a way to counteract the, buy all the new things, FOMO crazy makeup cycle, where you feel like you need to buy all the things all the time, and they were popularized by drag queen and content creator extraordinaire Kimberly Clark, who is awesome, huge role model of mine. I love Kimberly. Kimberly's great. So go check out Kimberly's anti-hauls as well. They're way more well-spoken than mine. So let's get talking about some products, shall we? Let's talk about this new Electric Nights
Morphe palette.
I have made my thoughts about Morphe very clear in the past. I don't fuck with Morphe. I don't mess around with them. I feel like they're shady as fuck. I feel like the product quality isn't always great. And I feel like they work with terrible people, aka James Charles, Jaclyn Hill, and Jeffree Star, because his stuff is in Morphe stores. So Morphe has a questionable judge of character, but this palette that has come out, it's $42, which is a lot more expensive than I feel like a lot of their other palettes. Like, I feel like it's even more expensive than James Charles's palette, but you get 39 shades, but it's so similar to the James Charles palette. It literally is just like slightly different undertones in the center shades because, or are they shimmery? So there's 8 radiant red shades, 8 sultry shades. So the radiant red shades are on the top, the sultry shades curated by somebody else, Holographic, which is 8 duochrome and duotone shifts, 8 electrifying neon shades at the bottom, and then 7 supersized highlighters and silk slip topper shades. So, okay, it's definitely a different product than James Charles's palette because there's like more shimmery topper things, but it falls under the same theme. It's too fucking big. It seems like an odd choice to come out with right after James Charles's tiny palette because whether it is the same kind of product, it looks really similar, and I feel like Morphe is just getting really tired and really bored. Why people fuck with them, I don't know. Morphe is putting in a store in my old mall, and I'm very upset about it, okay? Like, I'm pissed off. It's gonna be across the hall from Sephora, and it's gonna suck. Like, Morphe, I don't need this big palette, and it doesn't even have a mirror. If y'all are spending $42 on an eyeshadow palette, there should be a mirror in it. Just saying. There should be a mirror. $42 is enough for a mirror. Morphe.
Next
we're gonna talk about this Ofra Soul palette, which is a face and eye palette, which I can't stand. Eye and face palettes, I fucking hate. I don't use them. Please tell me if you use face and eye palettes, like all over palettes, and especially ones that have like lip shit in it. I don't think this one has lip things, but this eye, cheek, face palette, it has a banana powder. It has a yellow powder, a blush, and a bronzer. It's like weirdly organized and I don't like it, and also it's $79. So basically the price tag is why I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. And also I haven't heard the best things about Ofra's eyeshadow formula. Their highlighter formula, great. Eyeshadow isn't worth $79.
I don't fucking know.
This looks like a palette for somebody that only wants to own one thing and who spends a lot of money on that one thing, but then they don't collect a lot of makeup. I don't need it. I'm not gonna buy it. $79. Bullshit. Bullshit. Next, we're gonna talk about this new Wet n Wild palette. Wet n Wild is straight up turning into Morphe, and I don't need this shit. Wet n Wild, why? Why?
Why?
For one thing, fitting this 32 pan eyeshadow palette on a drugstore shelf sounds like an absolute nightmare. And so I feel like the only place where this palette would be able to be found would be Ulta or online and not available just in a drugstore. Like, Wet n Wild is supposed to be like a drugstore friendly thing. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that they've come out with lately has been catering to non-drugstore stuff. Like, can you imagine seeing a palette this big at fucking Target? No, like, this doesn't make any sense. Wet n Wild, I mean, it's $15, so like whatever, but I don't need this shit. You don't need it. This looks like an enlarged Tarte palette as far as the color story goes. It's like 2/3 warm and like 1/3 bluish stuff. I don't know. I don't need it. I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. Next thing we gonna talk about. Hourglass. I have an Hourglass little trio of blushes and I feel like I've had it for 3 years and it's taking forever for me to use it up. And every year they come out with these like ambient lighting edit things. These like giant $80 palettes that this year actually looks weirdly cheap as far as packaging. Like their packaging is already plastic, but this year it looks extra plastic. And I feel like with how much actual product you get in those, it's a decent amount of product. But if you're somebody who has any of these other ambient lighting palettes, you don't need this one. You don't need any of them, but if you have one, you don't need more. Because honestly, they don't look that different on the skin. Like if you used one up, sure, but like have you used up an Hourglass powder? I haven't. Do you know? Have you? I don't know. And so seeing them come out with these things every single year is just like kind of preying on that like collector mentality where it's like, oh, I need a new one every year. No, you don't. You don't need a new one every year because you haven't used up the one from last year. And it's $80. Is it worth it? I don't know. Is it good quality? Yeah, probably. But if you have one already, you don't need this one. Don't need it, not gonna buy it. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Sephora advent calendars. Now, advent calendars are an entirely bigger beast than just gift sets because Alexandra Ryan famously, I think it was last year or the year before, she talked about Sephora's stupidly overpriced advent calendar that had like makeup sponges in it, like sponge tip applicators and shit, mascara wands. It was like things that they were gonna give away as samples. I feel like advent calendars, it's obviously a gimmick to get people to buy things. And the weird thing is it's a gimmick for you to buy for yourself because if you have an advent calendar, the idea is that you open up a new thing every single day. And if you're giving it away as a gift, they're not going to get it until the 25th. So it's just a weird choice. It kind of fits into that same thing of like ornaments. It's like, are you going to hang it up?
No.
Are you going to put it up on a tree like that? Probably not. You're going to put it in a box or you bought it for yourself. It's just this like dorky, tacky, overwrought Christmas packaging of things that are just like overly wasteful to get people to buy things on Christmas. I don't need any advent calendars unless they have chocolate in them or cheese. If I could get a cheese advent calendar or a chocolate advent calendar, that's all I want. Or like a weed gummy advent calendar. Somebody come up with a joint advent calendar and oh, that would be amazing. Chocolate and joints. Chocolate and joints in an advent calendar. Somebody make that right now. But I don't need any of these advent calendars there's a ton that have come out. They're pretty expensive usually. So like the total value that you're getting for some of them, I feel like are worth it. But again, it's one of those things where if you don't know what is in each thing, why are you spending money on it? Of an advent calendar usually is that it's kind of a surprise. And so if you're buying something not knowing that what you're getting, no, I don't want a shitty product roulette every day until Christmas. I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. We're gonna talk a little bit about this Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. Now, I've seen a lot of people talk about it positively and the color story in it is fine. I feel like looking at all of those shades, I could dupe it out myself with what I already have in my collection. And I still feel some kind of way about Huda. I feel like a lot of people have just forgotten about her shit a bit. And this also, if you look at it next to the Carly Bible palette from Anastasia, it looks very similar as far as color story goes. And it's $67. It's too much money. It's too much money. I don't need it. I can dupe it out. $67. I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm not gonna buy it. Okay. I think last year I anti-hauled the Lush Christmas line and I'm going to do that again. All these bath bombs that have come out, I don't need any of them. I don't need any bath bombs. I don't need any bar soaps. I bought one shower gel and a body scrub and a lip scrub. That's all I've gotten from the holiday range because I have so much stuff, and I don't have a bathtub. now, as somebody who used to collect a lot of Lush products, that was probably the thing that I still own the most of it out of anything I ever have. And when I did have a bathtub, I would use bath bombs regularly. But now that I haven't had a bathtub for 4 years, I still have bath bombs. I still have bath bombs that I have not used. And I don't know why I bought things when I did, because by the time I would get to use it, it would be technically expired and lose a lot of its fizzing power. So to just like buy it to have for maybe the next time I go home to my parents' house and get to take a bath, it'll probably be fucking expired. So like the last time I stayed at my parents' house for a whole weekend, I stopped at the store on the way there and bought one and took one with me. And that's what I should do. If I want to take a bath, stop and buy one when I'm gonna use it. Don't just have this fucking basket full of bath bombs that I'm not gonna use. So I will not have a large haul of Christmas things from Lush this year. Literally, I bought 3 things. And I'm gonna include it in my full Lush collection next month during Vlogmas. So yeah, I don't need any of the Lush things this year from Christmas. I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. So Colourpop is back on their bullshit after taking a week off of releasing things, which was quite interesting because they posted something on Instagram and I was like, they've become self-aware. Oh boy. So you know how I talked about Disney recently and Disney collabs and Disney owning a lot of intellectual property and Disney just being generally a shitty company? Disney has collabed with Colourpop once again. And I feel like that they're just fucking trolling me because it's a
Frozen 2 collab.
It's a Frozen 2 collection. No. First of all, Frozen is obscenely overrated. This just seems like a weird choice for a makeup line. Because at least with some of the nostalgic Disney things, they're things that people my age when we liked when we were kids. And so it's like stuff like Snow White and like The Little Mermaid and Hercules, you know, things that we watched when we were kids. So it's kind of feeding on that nostalgic instinct. But Frozen isn't even that old. So like, I don't know, I feel like the age group of people who Frozen was targeted at and is targeted at doesn't match. I mean, maybe it does match the Colourpop age group. People are wearing makeup younger and younger these days. I feel very old when I look at people on Instagram and I'm like, oh, that's some nice eyeshadow. They're 12 years old. So it just feels like a weird choice. It feels, again, like something that right now is very strategic for them to come out with right before Christmas for parents to buy for their kids. Disney has too much money and too much power and too much intellectual property. Not buy anything that Disney collabs with for a cheap cash grab, you know? Let's just not. Let's leave that in 2019, shall we? I don't need this fucking Frozen line from Colourpop. I mean, the colors make sense, like as far as like the actual color stories matching the story and matching the artwork of the characters. I'll give them that. It actually looks accurate. But I don't need it. I don't need any of it. I hate it. I hate it and I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. Fucking Disney. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Colourpop? Disney is already gonna be having a lot of our money when people feel the need to download Disney Plus next month. Disney is already going to have so much money and they don't need it for this Frozen line from Colourpop. Don't need it. Not gonna buy it. Holy shit, no. So we have a surprise addition to the anti-haul that I filmed the other day. I don't usually have a bunch of things pre-filmed, but I'm pre-filming things for Vlogmas. But something else came out that I need to talk about right now. I heard about this like maybe like a day before it dropped on Trend Mood. And then somebody tagged me in it and I was like, oh my God, it's fucking happening. It's fucking happening. No, absolutely not. So Lele Pons, aka the former Vine star who pretended to cut off her hair to donate it to Locks of Love when in fact it was just her hair extensions, and makes comedy that you don't know if it's for children or if it's for college students. You have no idea. She's not funny and she just... Lele Pons is what everybody hates about YouTube. And she came out with Tarte, my Baby cakes, Tarte, please. Why? Who told you this was a good idea? Who did? Oh, your stockbrokers, your financiers. That's why. Because Lele Pons isn't even known for like wearing a lot of makeup. In a lot of her videos, she's wearing minimal makeup. She's not a makeup person. Lele Pons makes bad, cringy comedy. Why does she need a palette with Tarte? This is Tarte's attempt at collabing with somebody who's not really fucking white. So they choose Lele Pons, and on top of it being just like a baffling collaboration, it's an eye and cheek palette, which y'all know I hate, and the palette arrangement is a little wonky, which I also fucking hate. The shades are all like, bleh. Why? Even the trend mood comments are like, this is boring. Why? This is why I hate Tarte. This is why Tarte is canceled. Oh, why? Oh, Jesus. What? Why? I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, I have no words. I hate it. I hate it that much. I hate this. I hate it. Yeah. Back to the video. I talked about this palette and the shenanigans surrounding it in my previous video in a Get Ready With Me that I just filmed, actually. So I was like getting myself in the mood to get ranty. So, this Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson palette. Let's talk about it, shall we? There's 2 palettes. There's like 4 lipsticks. There's a gloss, which I'll give it to him. The fucking name's Shane Lawson. Great name. Outside packaging of the mini controversy. Could take it or leave it. Outside packaging of the conspiracy palette. The packaging is everything that I would want to come up with, and I feel like I've wasted my time not coming up with something that looks like this, because the palette itself on the outside is a statement piece in and of itself. I will give them that. On the inside of the palettes, on the other hand, this is what you guys were losing your shit over. You know, I don't hate it as much as some people do. I've seen on Twitter people are losing their minds about how much they hate this. And then there's people on the opposite side of the spectrum, people who are losing their minds over how much they love this. And all I keep thinking is, if this wasn't a Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson thing that we've been fed 6 hours of advertising about, would you give a shit about it? I feel like the hype around this is skewing people's thinking. The cognitive dissonance with this one is strong because it's not that special of a palette. It seems weird and disjointed, and it doesn't match the outside packaging. It's not something that I would reach for. It's not something that I feel like a lot of people would naturally reach for. I feel like with all the people who keep saying that this is like a game changer, it's gonna fucking change the market, it's going to be the release of the decade, you know, people who were just like losing their shit over this, it feels a little bit like they've been brainwashed because we've been fed this advertisement, this 6-hour-long commercial about it. And I feel like, I mean, I talked about this extensively in my last video about it. They could have put out anything and people would have bought it. That's the thing. I saw an image the other day on Twitter of this girl's collection of Jeffree Star mirrors that I can't remember how many there were, but like when added all up, it was like $400+ worth of hand mirrors. Why? People were talking about like using their whole paycheck. People were talking about going broke for this makeup. That is an unhealthy way to talk about makeup, okay? And for people to be promoting the idea that that's okay, and for people to be losing their goddamn minds over an eyeshadow palette put out by Jeffree Star.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
So this conspiracy and mini controversy palette, don't fucking need it, not gonna fucking buy it. So we didn't think that we were gonna have 2 interjections, did we? No, I never thought I would, but since I filmed my anti-haul and the other clip about Lele Pons, we've got more things from Jaclyn Hill.
Why?
Jaclyn is back. Jack is back. Jack attack. Back again. Jaclyn Hill. Holy shit. So Jaclyn Hill in case anybody forgot, is our favorite manipulative gaslighting salesperson on the internet. And about 5 months ago, she released a line of lipsticks with Jaclyn Cosmetics, her own brand that she launched. And it was met with a clusterfuck because the lipstick was filled with plastic and hair and metal shards and just like generally not just lipstick material. And everything went haywire. In case you I don't want to go through everything. I'll leave a link in a card up here to my video that I rambled on about, as well as a video that I think that everybody should watch. Maggie Mae Fish, who usually makes content about films and film theory and critical stuff, she did a whole video about Jaclyn Hill and capitalism and skeezy nonprofits, religious nonprofits. And when I watched that video, it changed my entire perspective about how shitty of a person that Jaclyn Hill is. So I highly recommend you watch that video because it's very good and shined a light on something that I had no idea about before. So Jaclyn, 5 months after that happened, when she said that, oh, she's going to completely change labs, things are going to be different, things are going to be better, I've got launches lined up, it's going to be great. 5 months later, she releases a line of highlighters that are stealing names from Hourglass, which is beside the point. But they're fucking highlighters. They're highlighters that are not anything special. For any brand, any normal brand, it makes sense to have highlighters in your lineup, but Jaclyn Hill just shouldn't have a brand at this point because she's lied about so many things and manipulated and gaslighted about so many fucking things that nobody should be giving her any more chances. Nobody should be giving her money because she's just a salesperson. And anytime she makes a video on her YouTube channel, it's either to sell one of her own shitty products or Morphe's shitty products. So nobody should be giving her any money. If anybody buys any of these highlighters and they come back filled with hair or just generally crappy, you played yourself, okay? But the fact that there's still so many people who support her, or the fact that she says that there's still so many people that support her. I watched a part of her video that she released today talking about the line, and it was just all the same BS gaslighting, being like,
I was so nervous to make this video, but everybody's telling me that I should, and oh, like, I'm getting so much support from people on Instagram, and like,
said that she had a bunch of positive messages coming in on her phone on Instagram, and it's like, are you showing us the receipts? No, like, you're just telling us this to make us think that people don't remember, that people forgot. Jaclyn, we didn't forget. Some of us didn't forget. But it's very strategic in how long she waited to release this, because there's no way that these are from a new lab, because there's no way that you can do all of that in 5 months. She waited long enough for the people that really, 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 really die hard support her to forget about the first one, but not long enough for everybody to forget, and just in time for Christmas.
Oh!
Like, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know why people still like her. I don't know why people still support her and approve of her. Like, she's just been known to be a liar, and they haven't fixed anything from the last one. Like, still people haven't gotten some of their refunds when it should have been a recall. She should have recalled the lipsticks, and she did not recall the lipsticks. Friends don't let friends buy Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics stuff. I guarantee you have so many highlighters that you don't need to buy any of these highlighters that look boring, and it's from a skeezy salesperson that's probably from the same lab that all the shitty lipsticks came from. So I don't need any of this. I never need anything from Jaclyn Cosmetics. Seriously, go watch that Maggie Mae Fish video, and you will look at all of her, like, comeback videos very differently, because it's all very manipulative, gaslighting type language that she uses. And knowing her background, it makes so much sense. So, Jaclyn Cosmetics, highlighters, I don't need it. And I'm not gonna buy it. Libby, do you have any input? Do you need it?
What?
That highlighter.
No. I
Cool.
have highlighter. It's cheap and it works just fine.
Don't need it, not gonna buy it. Okay, back to the actual video. I swear this is the last interjection. I promise. Ah. If you haven't seen my other anti-hauls and you would like to check them out, I will leave a playlist in the description with my previous 21 episodes of anti-haul monthly. It didn't start out monthly, but it's turned into monthly because I like doing them so much and you guys like them that much. I'll leave a link to that in the description. The song of the day, I need a song. This is the third video I filmed today, so I've had to come up with 3 different songs. Song of the day. Okay, I'll pick this one like that's right in the middle of my playlist. So my camera ran out of space because I filmed 3 videos today, like I said. Today's song of the day is Aleph Null from newaxeyes, which is like a loud, progressive, kind of scuzzy, kind of industrial stuff with like synthy stuff and guitars and heavy shit. So yeah, your song of the day. It is on my record collection playlist. I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well if you guys haven't seen my record collection video. Not that many of you have, so please check it out. If you're new here, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe if you liked it. Hit the bell notification to get notified when I upload shit. Thanks to my patrons, y'all are great as always. And if you want to see how I got this eye look, check out my Get Ready With Me. I like how this turned out. One of my two-toned looks, you know what I'm saying? Okay, thanks for watching everybody. I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye!